Hi, you're with Chandeep at Goodly once again, and in this video, I'm going to talk about dynamic unpivoting in Power Query. I'm sure you already know of unpivoting the data in of Power Query, but let's just take a look at how do we make it more dynamic by applying a few techniques that I'm going to discuss in this particular video. No further ado, let's begin. Alright, I'm in an Excel file and that's where I have mocked up some very simple data. You can see that we have the product and the color as two columns, and across here in the rows we have all the months, and in the cross tabulated matrix we have all the numbers. Clearly this data is pivoted, which should be unpivoted, and I'm sure that you know of the techniques in Power Query to unpivot the data. It's not very difficult. Now the problem is that I can actually select these two columns and I can right click in the query and I can say, hey, unpivot all the other columns. But what if another column is added to this particular data which is not supposed to be unpivoted? Obviously the query is going to fall apart. Let me just actually add another column and then start to refresh the query, because I've already created the unpivoted query, and talk about the problem real quick. So in this particular data, you can see that if I just move over to the next sheet, product and the color columns were selected, and I said unpivot other columns, and the data was loaded onto the other sheet, and the product and the color right here, the month is right here, and the value is right here. This is the unpivoted data that is out there as an output. Now, if I just go back to sheet number 1, which is where my data is, if I just add a column right here and call that column as a brand, and maybe just give this out as a top brand, just press enter. Let's just go over to table 1. Now brand, the column that I just added, needs to be added as a separate column, right? So if I just right click here and I just do a refresh, now you will find that the brand also got unpivoted while it was not supposed to be unpivoted. Let's just take a look what's going on in the query, and hopefully you'll understand better. I'll also talk about the solution to this particular problem. Let's just open up the query editor. Alright, I'm in the query editor here, and you can see that in the source step we have the product and the color, and this is the new column that we just added, brand. Now initially when I was doing the query, I obviously selected product and the color, I right clicked and I say unpivot other columns, and when I did not have the brand column, all the months Jan to December got unpivoted and they were into rows. Okay. Now if I just go ahead and take a look at this particular step, the brand also was unpivoted while it was not supposed to be unpivoted. Why? Because if I take a look at the formula right here, table.unpivot other columns, it is hard coding the columns which I do not want to unpivot. The color and the product columns are hard coded. Now what do I do inside of my query to make these color and the product columns dynamic? Let's just delete these this particular step, unpivoted, and let's just write it again in a slightly different way, which is where the column names are going to be dynamic. The first thing that I'm going to do is, once the table has been loaded inside of Power Query, I just want to fetch the headers of this particular data set. That means I want to fetch for product, the color, the brand, the months, and stuff like that. I'm going to make a new step right here and write a function called table.columnNames and just close the bracket. Table.columnName accepts a table, and source is nothing but the previous step which contains a table. If I now commit to this particular formula right here, it actually gives me a list, and the list contains nothing but the headers or the column names. Now you can't do much with a list inside of Power Query. Let's just convert it into a table, because I would want more control over this list. Right click on the list and I'm just going to convert this to a table, and this actually becomes as a table. It says that, hey, do you want to show the additional column as errors? Doesn't really matter because we're just going to have one column. I'm just going to say okay, and this becomes like a table. Now what I'm going to do is, I need a pattern to be able to identify which are the months and which are the other columns that I don't want to unpivot. So obviously Jan to December are the columns that I want to unpivot, and product, color, and brand are the columns that I don't want to unpivot. So one of the ways of identifying a pattern is that if I try to convert these Jan, Feb, March up until December into a date, they will convert into a date, but not the product, not the color, not the brand. So let's just apply that pattern. All that I'm trying to say is that you have to figure out some pattern to identify which columns to unpivot and which columns to let it stay. So I'm going to create an add column step right here, make a custom column, and let's just start writing a function. I'm going to write, let's just say that I'm trying to create a date. So one of, let's say, the month, which is this particular column function right here. And let's just make a 2020 date, right? So 2020. And 1st of Jan 2020, 1st of Feb 2020, so on and so forth. But if you take a look at product, color, and brand, they will not be converted into a date. Let's just see what do we get. If I click on OK, it does say 1 Jan 2020, 1 Feb 2020. But as of now, this has been converted like a text, which I don't really want it. I'd like to convert it as a date. So let's just convert this into a date. I'm just going to come back to my step right here and start to modify this step. I'm going to say that, hey, date.from, and this actually delivers me like a date structure, and for the other values are definitely going to give me an error, because one brand 2020 would actually not mean a date, obviously. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to keep the errors on this particular column, because those are the values that I need. Dates are good, but I don't need them. Those columns need to be unpivoted. Anyways, so I'm just going to come to the home tab and say keep rows and keep the errors, and I'm just now retained with the product, the color, and the brand. Now, if you remember that unpivoting step that we deleted just a while ago, in that we had the product and the color, I believe product and the color, and those product and the color were there in the curly brackets. That means that I again have to create that curly bracket type structure, which is nothing but a list. I have to create a list to be able to fit now 3 columns, the product, the color, and the brand. How do I create a list? I can just right click on this particular column and I can say drill down, and this will actually become like a list. All right, now let's just rename this particular step. If I just double click right here, and or maybe just right click and say rename, or press the F2 key, I'm just going to call this as column names. All right, I commit to the formula, I press enter, and that's my column names. Now these are the column names that are not supposed to be unpivoted. Let's just do the unpivoting step once again. I'm going to create the fx right here, and in the fx it's actually referring to the previous step, but I don't want to refer to the previous list. Let's just get the original data that we had. So I'm just going to say equals to nothing but source, commit to the formula, press enter, and we are back on the original data that we had. Now I can probably apply the unpivoting step. Let's just do it once again. So I select the product, I select the color, and I select the brand. Now that I have 3 columns, I'm going to pick up 3 columns. I right click and I say unpivot other columns, and the other columns are unpivoted, and we have product, color, and brand. Let's just also call the attribute as not attribute but month. All right. Now you can see that the product, color, and brand again are hard coded, but nothing to worry about. We have now a step in our query, which is column names, that I can actually feed it right here, which is also nothing but a list. And this is also nothing but a list. All right, let's just actually delete that curly bracket part of the formula, and let's just write something like column names, which we have already created, which is where I am dynamically pulling out the columns that I do not want to unpivot. I right click and I say okay, just kind of commit the formula, press OK. Nothing changes. The query gives you the same result. We're going to find out that this works or not by adding one more column to our data set. So if I just go to the home tab, click on close and load, I definitely get one additional column in the query, which is nothing but the brand. But let's just test out this query. I go back to sheet 1, and in sheet 1 let's just add another column. All right, the column that I'm going to add is, let's say, the category, and let's just kind of give the high category to a few, and let's just give the low category to a few. All right, now again, now I want to pick up product, color, category, and brand. 4 columns I want to pick up, and I'd like to say unpivot other columns, right? That's what I want to do. So if I just maybe go ahead to my table, and I trust the process that I have built, which is where the name is going to be captured on its own, I can just right click and I just can do a refresh here, and the category column is added, because category could not have been converted into a date. Alright, that was a little tutorial about dynamic unpivoting in Power Query. Let me know if you have any questions around this. Remember that the main thing is to identify a pattern in which you can classify which columns to unpivot and which columns to let it stay. In the end, a quick shout about my DAX and my Power Query courses. In case you're starting out with Power BI and you need more structured help with learning Power Query, or with DAX, learning the fundamentals first and then proceed on to solving more challenging problems of your own data, I would highly recommend that you take a look at my courses. It's going to be highly beneficial. Thanks so much for watching this, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Cheers. Bye.